everybody. Yes, I know I am 8 minutes late. I was meeting with a very important person. It was not my wife, but she would also be a very important person. So I do apologize for just being a couple minutes late. And hope everybody's having a great day. I have to tell you that yesterday's conference presentation by President Biden was extraordinarily disappointing. Not depressing, but disappointing. Because the people in his administration clearly know, claramente conocen en la administración de Biden, that they needed to get rid of the bans. Buenos días, soy el abogado Charles Kuck. Estoy hablando en inglés y en español hoy día. So I'm speaking in English and Spanish today. Amin from Paris, welcome. Bonjour. It's great to have everybody with us today. Again, I started out by saying how disappointed, qué tristeza que tuve ayer en el anuncio de Biden que no iban a hacer nada en cuanto a las prohibiciones de entrar a los Estados Unidos. I'm just very disappointed in the Biden administration for not doing what they should have done. Now, fortunately, in the press conference yesterday beforehand, there was a reporter who asked about the bans, and the press secretary just blew him off. I mean, ayer, antes de la conferencia de Biden con sus proclamaciones, órdenes ejecutivos en inmigración, había una conferencia de prensa y alguien le preguntó a la oficial de prensa, ¿qué pasa con las prohibiciones, los bans? Estamos estudiando. We're studying them. And really, all Biden did yesterday, and really, let's call it what it is, he announced some committees. Hey, let's study this. Let's look at that. Let's think about that. You know, there's nothing to think about here. It's not like there aren't hundreds of advocates who have looked in excruciating detail at the nightmare problems created by the Trump administration and offered exact, precise solutions. No es como, ayer anunciaron algunos comités de estudiar tal y a ver lo que debe hacer. Y, hay muchos abogados que han dicho, mira, aquí es el problema, aquí es la solución, hágalo. Y lo hicieron. I know that Biden wanted to get Secretary Mayorkas in. I know that was delayed by the Democrats because, I don't know, by the Republicans because they're racist. I don't have any idea why. But I want to talk about what's going on. ¿Qué es el efecto de ella? What is the effect of the Biden announcements? Well, primeramente enfocamos en lo que anunció. Let's first focus on what Biden did do. Okay, Biden anunció que van a empezar el proceso de estudiar cómo eliminar las prohibiciones en entrar a los Estados Unidos y pedir asilo. So he said, we're going to study the process to create a better asylum system so that people aren't kept in Mexico. But they're still keeping people in Mexico. Todavía le dejan de quedar en México mientras que estudien el asunto. He said, we're going to look at Central America and how we can make things better in Central America. Vamos a estudiar Centroamérica y estudiar y decidir cómo podemos ayudarlos para que no vengan. We're going to study we see if they come, how not to make them come. Y vamos a estudiar el impacto de proclamaciones que Trump hizo por la carga pública, que ha sido muy impactante. We're going to study how public charge should be changed. And they should look at all the things that Trump changed. Keep in mind, recuerde, Trump cambió más de 1,000 cosas, uno cada día. Trump changed something like every single day. Just keep that in mind. Corey Lance, I'm angry too. Thank you, Corey, for that angry face. I'm angry too. Okay, eso es lo que hizo. Era en inglés, es una hamburguesa de nada. Lo que es una hamburguesa de aire. It's like a giant nothing burger. Big ball of nothing. Now, maybe what comes of it in 6 weeks, in 45 days, in 18 days, great. But every day, cada día, that the proclamation bans are in place is a day somebody loses their visa and can't join their family in the United States. Cada día que está en plazo las prohibiciones de entrada, es un día que alguien pierde su visa, se expide su visa, o no puede unirse con su familia, que sean padres sufriendo de cáncer, niños que no han visto a sus padres nunca. I mean, there's so many cases that I'm aware of. Kids that have never seen their parents, their dad. They've never seen their dad ever in person. And the kid's 3 or 4 years old. Situations where a fiancé has cancer and you can't bring her fiancé to the United States to help care for her. I mean, situations where parents are elderly and there's nobody to care for them in the home country. All of these situations are extraordinary reasons why Biden should act. And he doesn't. People will say, well, Biden doesn't know. It's not that Biden's senile. Biden's not senile. I mean, he gets it. I just don't think they understand the urgency of the situation. So, where are we? ¿Dónde estamos ahorita? Okay, so we know that 12 days ago, I had oral argument in the Annunciato case in California. We emphasized to the judge, hace 12 días tuve argumento en el caso de Annunciato en California, y puse un énfasis con el juez. The judge, every day somebody's losing their visa. Every day that you don't make a decision is a day somebody's not be able to come and join their family. Every day as a visa needs to be reissued. He got it, all right? I don't know, but I got the impression he was really hoping that Biden would fix this. But I think he was convinced, one, that he has the power to end the bans. 2, that he has the power to order that they issue visas for DV 2021, that they reissue visas for DV 2020. I think he believes he has the power for that. Okay? Yo creo que el juez, basado en los argumentos que dimos y el sostén en la ley, que él tiene el poder de dar el orden, cancelando las prohibiciones de entrada y dando el orden que empiezan de dar las visas, de estampar las visas en los pasaportes y reestampar las visas en el pasaporte. But here's the thing, we're never going to stop pressuring Biden, all right? The real solution is at Biden, because it's not just, hey, you have to issue a visa, you have to let people in. The consulates are not working, and they're still using COVID as an excuse to do nothing rather than working around COVID. Y no vamos a cesar de luchar con Biden, porque solamente Biden pueden decir a los consulados, regresen al trabajo, okay? Averigüe cómo puedes arreglar sus estaciones de dar la protección de COVID, pero trabaje. Eso solamente puede venir del Biden. So only Biden can order them. A judge can't order them. Put up plastic. Wear hazmat suits. I mean, he can't order them to do that. He just issue the visa. You just figure it out. Biden, Secretary Blinken, they can do it. And that's why we need this administration to act on this. Now, everybody, I've got, I don't know how many, let's see how many messages I have on my DM from the Twitter machine. I don't know. There's like 50 DM. You don't need to DM me about my visa's expiring. I know. That's why you're in our lawsuit. You don't need to DM me that there's only 7 months left in the fiscal year. I know. That's why we're in our lawsuit. You don't need to DM me that my dad's sick and I know. I really know. And that's why you're in these lawsuits. Whether it's the K1 lawsuit or the new O1 lawsuit that we have refiling, the new K1s that we're filing, or it's in the Annunciato case. We also do not need to add plaintiffs. Our case is a class action. I believe the judge will grant class action status to everybody, plaintiff or not. We have no right to add plaintiffs while we have a class action pending. Now, if the judge doesn't grant class action status, we will add anybody who wants to join. But we do not need to do this. No tenemos que añadir litigantes a los casos de Annunciato, porque es una acción de clase. O sea, si ganamos, todos ganamos. Todos ganan. Okay. Pero si él dice, well, voy a aprobar el caso, pero no como clase, de ahí vamos a añadir toda la gente. Pero cuando él me preguntó, señor Kuck, ¿qué pasa si no si no doy la acción de clase, si solamente doy una acción nacional. Yo dije, bueno, vamos a añadir más litigantes y más litigantes y más litigantes y más litigantes. Y él dijo, okay. Remember, when the judge asked me, what happens if I don't give class status, if I just give an injunction for the plaintiffs, I said, well, we'll just keep adding plaintiffs. And we'll add them and add them and add them and add them and add them until we add all of them. We'll do it for everybody. He says, what if I give a permanent global injunction? I said, well, that solves your problem too, but I prefer there be a class action. So that's kind of where we are. I will tell you, there's nothing else going on. Biden, there hasn't been really anything else that's changed. And actually, this is refreshing. Eso es un poco refrescante, okay? Que no hay otras noticias. O sea, no han cambiado nada, no han recambiado nada, no han arreglado nada. Y sabemos que todavía ICE está deportando a la gente. ICE is still deporting people because a judge is letting them, and ICE doesn't want to really listen to Biden. But at the same time, there's nothing malo. There's nothing bad is happening. I mean, other than the normal bad. No new bad. Really, have you even heard from Trump in 2 weeks? No, I think the whole level of the country has come down. We're coming down a little bit. We're going to get it way lower, but we're coming down. So there's really not a lot else to talk about. So I want to answer your questions. I've got a lot of questions here today. And I'll try to get to as many as I can in the time we have until 3. Again, I apologize for running a little bit late, but I was meeting with a very important person, reunión con una persona muy importante, to help them fix their case. All right, so Hussein, good to see you. Amin from Paris, good to see you. You're welcome. By the way, just on the DV selectees for 2021, we've asked the judge to order Department of State to issue all of the visas, all of them, and to do it by the end of September. And if they don't do it by the end of September, we're going to be back in front of that judge asking for the rest of them. So I truly believe that all 55,000 will be issued. And I heard recently that one of the rumors from the White House is that, well, they're just going to let the proclamations expire by themselves in March. Well, that means every DV 2020 person's visa is expired. So what do? So we've also asked the judge in Anunciado to order the reissuance of those visas. So we're protecting everybody that we're aware of. That's our goal, is to protect everybody in this process. Okay. Elizabeth, how you doing? All right. From Serbia, we're all over the world. Hey, Milos, good to see you. Emmanuel, ¿qué tal? El señor Camacho, el macho Camacho que está aquí. Mo, relax, man. Don't be disappointed. Get angry. What did Obama say? Don't get mad. Vote. Say, don't get disappointed. Fight. This is what we're here to do. That's fair. John from Hamburg. Guten Tag. I don't remember much from my grandparents. I know a little bit about that. So Hassan asked a great question. Will Congress approve additional visas? Now, Hassan, understand today we are filing our own motion for summary judgment in the Gomez, Acker, Mohammed, Fangjan case. One of the things we're asking Judge Mehta for is to grant all the visas, to reconsider his 9,000 visas, because when he did that, he did not fully appreciate the bad faith that the Department of State was doing in not issuing the visas. Not issuing the visas was not about COVID. Not issuing the visas was about them not issuing visas. That's an entirely different thing. And the government should not benefit from its own bad faith. And that's what he allowed them to do. So again, we are still fighting with Judge Mehta because he's the only judge that can order more of them. He's got his hand. No other judge in the whole wide world has the authority in any other case to order the recapture of those visas. It's legally not possible. But he has that authority because he reserved to himself the right to do that before the end of the fiscal year. So he has a legal right, and that's what we're fighting for in that case. Mark Taylor, I don't know how many friends I have named Mark Taylor. I think I have 4 friends named Mark Taylor, but it's from Scotland, and if it's not Scottish, it's crap. That's my best Scottish accent. It's probably terrible. I'm sorry, Mark. I'll come over and visit you one day if we can play a little golf. All right. Hussein, so far, there's been nothing to reverse the policies. There's a couple policies, but nothing dramatic. Now, they might be thinking, oh, we'll get to it in March or April. We got a lot of other stuff to worry about. We're going to keep putting the pressure on the Fed. You know what would be a good idea? I wonder if it would be a really good idea. We can do this. We can text, we can Twitter Jen Psaki, who is the press secretary for the Biden administration, and you can Twitter her at press secretary. Okay, so you can go on the Twitter machine. I'm going to put this up here, and we're going to say, hey, what a tweet to. Okay, let's see. Tweet to. Oh yeah. Why is President? How about better? When is President? And write this so you can copy it. President Biden going to end PP 1014 and PP 0052. We need it now. All right, there you go. Look below. I just put a comment up, and you can copy that comment, go to the Twitter machine, and text over to Jen Psaki and say, why isn't the president? Trust me, she gets 1,000 tweets that asks about the same thing. Maybe they'll pay attention to it. I don't know. Quite possible. You can also copy other ads to White House reporters. Google on White House and look for White House reporters, and Google, tag them on it, so they all know that everybody's interested in this. I mean, that's what we need to be doing. Don't get disappointed. Fight. And you got to use the tools that we have. Marilu, desde Perú, el país de mi corazón y mi alma. Let's see. We got Georgia. And Marie, I don't think is from Georgia, or Georgia? I think Marie is from Georgia, over in Europe. Is there still possible I'm going to rescind it? Yeah, here's the deal. Later this week or next week, I don't think we're going to do it this week unless we bombard them. If we bombard them, maybe we can make them move faster. But as you know, last night, we submitted a letter to Judge Seaborg in the Annunciado case saying, look, Biden's doing nothing. Squat. It's on you. And we need it as quickly as possible. So, again, we continue to fight on this. Did we break the judge? Yeah, Abitha. Yes. Yes. I'm not as dumb as I look. Yes, we did. And I argue, if you were on our argument, you would have heard all that as well. Okay. Marie brings up a good point. It's emotionally exhausting. I mean, emocionalmente somos cansados. And I know, it's easier for me because I'm the lawyer, and this has been my life for 30 years, is hurry up and wait, patience. And my wife will tell you, I am the least patient guy on the planet. And I hate telling people, you just got to wait a little bit longer. We will get a decision. We will, in enough time, I think we're going to win. I can't promise you. I'm not a prophet, but I believe the law is on our side. I really believe the law is on our side. And if the law is on our side, we win, and we win quickly here, and everybody has a visa can come in, and visas should be issued. That's how I see it. Thank you, Mark. You keep promising and keep fearing. Biden will extend. Oh, no, Ramesh, don't be spreading rumors. Here's, just so you know, what I think Biden will do and what he should do. If he's concerned about COVID, you put a presidential proclamation on it. Says you have to have a negative COVID test within 72 hours of entering the United States. When you enter the United States, you take a test at the airport, all right? And then you quarantine in an airport hotel for 48 hours. Okay, that's what a lot of countries are doing. Hong Kong's put you in a hotel for 2 or 3 weeks that you have to pay for. But just barring people is not an answer. That's not how this works, all right? All right, let's see. Proclamation can be modified on February 15th. What would have been expiring? In 15 days, everything. I mean, again, Biden is not bound by time frames. He is not. He is, in this context, the king of proclamations. He wants to end it tomorrow. He just ends it tomorrow. He doesn't need to wait. The 15-day stuff is nonsense. Yeah, Lisandra, exactamente. Él dice, vamos a reunir todas las familias. pero vamos a separar las familias. So we're going to reunite all the families, but we're going to keep families separate. You're right. It makes no sense. There is no congruity. It is incongruous. I agree. No hope in the government. And enunciado is a class action. It's not acción de clase. All right. Tengo 3 meses que mandé a aplicación de Ordenes Pro. Ok, soy de acá. No me han mandado recibos. Sí, Jesús. Los recibos son atrasados. Hoy día recibimos recibos de los fines de octubre. Ok. No hay justificación. Otra vez, inmigración, incompetencia al nivel que ni puedes imaginar. Just wait. Debes recibirlo adentro. Si hoy día es el noviembre, diciembre. La semana siguiente debes tenerlo. People know in the United States, they're filing receipts with immigration, and they don't have a receipt. And it's because immigration is so incompetent that they literally cannot cash your check and issue a receipt. I mean, that is a result of wildly poor management. I mean, extraordinary incompetence at every level of the organization. I'm sorry. It is somebody's fault. You shouldn't be 3 months behind issuing receipts. And I think I'm going to sue you about that. So I think we're moving forward on the lawsuit on OPT and EAD. So if you're waiting on your EAD receipt, your employment card as a student, we're going to sue them. Just join the lawsuit. Go to visalaw.com and sign up. I know, Israel. We're going to get you here. Let's get him here, okay? Confiamos en Dios. Yo también. Omar, good question. When do I expect? So, Omar, I would ask you, what did I say 2 weeks ago? I said I expected by February 6th, but it could be longer, could be less. He understands the urgency. He gets it. He absolutely 100% gets it, all right? But he has to write a decision that's going to hold up under a microscope, all right? He's not me. I can make arguments. He can't make arguments. He has to make a reasoned decision and explain why the government is wrong. Now, I think I've done a good job of that, but he has to put it in his own words. Oh, Dana, thank you for asking. My wife is doing great. She's doing great. She'll be back to work, healing people's brains before you know it. My wife is a family and marriage therapist, a mental health therapist, and I fix their immigration status. She picks their brains and their hearts. All right. Motion for reissuance. Actually, Dana, I'm glad you asked because we're doing that today. Thank you for asking. It's part of our motion for summary judgment. We're going to file a motion for certification of class again and get him to pay attention to this again. But we explained that last Friday. I literally did argument on the phone from the hospital waiting room. The doctor actually came out to talk to me after the surgery while I was on the phone. I'm like, so I'm telling the surgeon, just a little bit. I'll be right with you. Judge. All right, Kosovo. I'd love to go to Kosovo. That would be a lot of fun. All right, F2A. All right, Carlos, DQ 10-2020. At this point, Carlos, wait until we win the lawsuit. At this point, emailing them is a waste of your effort. They're just going to give you a standard response. You're banned, so have a nice day. Wait till we win. All right, wait till we win. Let's see. My visa will expire March 14th with advice. Schengen. Ooh. Well, it's only February 3rd. All right. If we get the order by the 11th, let's say it's not this Friday, it's next Friday, the 13th, then you could leave the country, still get 2 weeks abroad, and still get here for March 14th. So I don't think you should take any movement yet, Anna. I don't think you should take any movement yet. All right. Dennis, I explained 114. Okay, Brandon, get it. I know you just want to get angry instead and fight. All right. Let's see. I keep in mind, Salim, we are fighting for visa renewal. The judge, I think we convinced the judge that visa issuance is not visa reissuance. The problem with the state says we can't reissue any visas at the end of the year for fiscal for DV. There's nothing barring reissuance. It's visa issuance. And the Judge Major already reserved the visas. So and he told them to reissue them. So no, we're going to win on that issue. We really are. Good afternoon. In case of raising obligation, how do you think the interview process with COVID would be handled? Well, again, this is where it goes to having the people at the Department of State do their jobs. So once Biden either cancels the proclamation or the judge orders them to do it, we have a follow-up call with the judge. Say, Judge, We're going to ask them how they're going to do this. One thing we know, they did it. They did it in September. They did it safely in September. Nobody applying for a visa and nobody at any consulate got COVID in September when they issued 6,000 DVs. So it's not a question of what do they do. They can do it. They've already shown they can do it. This is not hard. This is the will to do it. All right. Yes, Israel, we're going to make sure that your daughter can see her dad. All right. Let's see. Martin Minia, no, I do not think the proclamation is going to go beyond March 31st. I don't think so. Let's see. I'm getting some questions here. Schengen area. People in Schengen area, what do they have to do? Go out Europe for the expression. Yeah, well, basically, we didn't attack the Schengen ban because the Schengen ban has a rationale. I mean, the reason we can attack the proclamation bans is because for everybody is because their rationale sucks. They didn't need for a rationale. There's no basis. There is a healthcare basis for the Schengen ban. So yeah, you're gonna have to go to Mexico for 2 weeks or go to Turkey for 2 weeks, or maybe they'll change them at the same. We're working on that behind the scenes, but that's not a litigation. We're not going to win that litigation. All right, that's not a litigation process that's winnable in my opinion. Okay, do you think you can do something for DACA? Well, this is another one of these things that he did the first day that didn't do anything, where he told the Secretary of Homeland Security, who just started last night, you need to strengthen DACA. You need to make DACA better. And he wants Congress to pass DACA. So I think what they're going to, this is Chuck's prophecy. I'm not a prophet. It's my prophecy. I think they're going to move the date. Yo creo que van a mover la fecha adelante por DACA de 2007 en adelante. Es lo que creo. No sé. Pero lo que yo recomendaría. All right, that's what I would recommend. All right. Do you had your own notice for second term? So for the third round of Milligan, you have to have an approval notice from USCIS, and you have to be at the NVC. If you don't have a USCIS approval notice, you're not qualified to be a plaintiff. Okay, because this is about the Department of State issuing visas. All right. Let's see, Mr. Cook, kindly ask the judge. I am Osama. I am. And actually, as I said, we're asking for all the visas. All right. Will embassies work on them? Oh, I think they will. Because what the judge will do is what Judge Mehta did. Come back here in a week and tell me what you are doing. Tell me what you're doing to comply with my order to issue these. So, yes. What if there won't be class certification? As I noted, we will add plaintiffs. Unless the judge issues a nationwide injunction. If there's a nationwide injunction, a worldwide injunction, then there's no need for class certification. Okay? Because it applies to everybody. Because the key is to apply it to everybody. But if he does neither, he just has a plaintiff injunction, then we'll just add lots of plaintiffs. Buenas tardes de Víctor. ¿Qué pasará con los que tienen peticiones de asilo político aquí en los Estados Unidos y son mexicanos? De antemano sé que los mexicanos no son elegibles. No, Víctor, eso no es verdad. Mexicanos son elegibles por asilo, absolutamente, 100%. Y no son prohibidos de hacerlo, van a seguir. Entonces depende si su caso es afirmativamente hecho por asilo o estás en deportación por medio de lo que pasó en la frontera. Ojalá tengas un buen abogado que te puede explicar esas cosas. Si no, nos llaman. Hey, remember, I didn't even put this up, but remember that we do free consults. Estamos haciendo llamadas gratis, okay? Llamen por una consulta. Estamos aquí para ayudar, okay? Free consult, 15 minutes on the phone. If you want a full concert, come in person or do by Zoom, that's paid. But we do the free consult. We have 12 lawyers, and we are here to help out in every way possible, okay? Do you believe the lawsuit will finish in March? Well, the question is, Sebastian, which lawsuit? The Mehta lawsuit, Acker? No, that won't be done in March. No. Annunciado, I think it will be done, okay? I already gave my prediction. I already talked about Annunciado. I already talked about 1014. It's not Seaberg who's saying it's Seaborg, B-O-R-G. Seaberg's probably a city in Europe somewhere. Exception. Again, we're asking for reissuance. All right. Thank you, Austin. I love you too. Do you think, let's see, where'd you go? Oh, man, I jumped ahead here a little bit. Hold on. I need to scroll backwards a little bit because this system I use jumps ahead for some reason. I don't know why. Oh, well, jumped so far ahead I can't go back. Charles, thanks for what you're doing. Ben's what do you think time will be like EB visa, EB1? That's a great question. Consulates are not going to go 100%, but they could go 80%. So it will depend on which consulate you are coming from. I mean, honestly, Craig, I mean, sometimes it's almost better to come as a visitor if you can come as a visitor and just change your status in the United States after 90 days. But if you're consular processing, you probably, depending on where you are, if you are ready for interview, probably be a month or 2, 3 months is my guess. They're going to be doing a lot of DV visas too, so they're going to be busy. You know, I've actually been hearing the government say, "Oh, the poor consulates are understaffed." They're not understaffed. There are people working there, all right? They're just not given the ability to work at 100%. They have the ability to issue all these visas in reasonable timeframes. They have put themselves in this situation voluntarily to appease a wannabe autocrat. Now they need to get their big boy pants on and get to work, all right? All right. Hey, so by the way, some consulates have been extraordinary. Frankfurt, I'm going to give a shout out to Frankfurt. You have been extraordinary on the K1s. Thank you very much. Some of the Italian ones have been very good, but Frankfurt, thank you. You are the woman. All right. Next hearing anunciado. There isn't a next hearing. All right. We're waiting for the decision. ¿Qué pasa con los europeos que revoquen esto a menos de 15 días de vencerse la visa y no nos tienen tiempo de salir del país? Well, Roberto, tendremos que pedir que el juez le da la extensión, pero ojalá eso no cese. Pero por esta razón debes tener su propio abogado ayudarte en esas cosas. You probably answered this. Do you think it will return? I think it's soon, Akram. And you can go back and listen to this, by the way. There is a huge number of DV 2020s who did the interview with the consulate were not issued visas. They will take 90 for the judge. Yeah, I think they'll be the first ones to get the 90-95. But keep in mind also that we're asking for all the visas to be issued. And we're going to keep fighting for that. And we're also trying to get a bill interest in Congress to authorize it. Keep in mind this. The one positive thing that Biden did is he ended the Muslim bans. Within the Muslim bans, there was an order to the Department of State to determine how to recover all the unused visas. These guys can do it if they're ordered to do it. So there you go. Let's see. Visa expires on March 14th. Sufyan, I am confident in you. I'm confident. All right. A lot of these are the same. I don't even have any idea what language that is. You got me. That could be Esperanto for all I know. I have no idea. Now you're going to go look up what Esperanto is. There you go. Expectations on the 944. All right, Emil. So the 944, tomorrow, the Biden administration could, if it wanted to, end it. How? The U.S. attorney calls the judge in California that has put an injunction in place that's been stayed. Says, Judge, we agree to a permanent injunction against 944. Boom. It's done. It's done. Just like that. It's done. It's over. It's all they have to do. We'll see. I mean, if they don't do that, they have to go through a year-long process to get rid of public charge regs. But they could get rid of it through the lawsuit immediately. I'm just saying. Malta, that is a place I definitely want to go, Michael. Okay. Immigration lawyers. These are immigration reporters, not immigration lawyers. Okay, so Andrea, that's a really good idea. So you can copy all these immigration reporters who will then say, what's going on here? MER Hoffman hopefully is doing a story on it. By the way, if you are willing to talk to a reporter about how you have suffered from the proclamation, if you're willing to do that, then you should definitely DM me, and I will put you in touch with the reporter doing the story. Hussein called the White House. There you go. You know, in America, you can call the president. He doesn't answer him, but he does take messages. All right. So you can even write the White House. Every day, the president is given 10 letters. If you all wrote letters to Biden and say, why aren't you doing it? Here's how this is destroying my family. Maybe that will wake him up. Si vencen las visas y que ganan el anuncio, pueden estar para la visa. Yo creo que sí, Alexander. Okay. All right. Desde Venezuela, lo siento, Jessica. Saludos y los F2 no habrá estatus. Seguimos prejuiciados. Ya. Jessica, estás en la litigación enunciada. Si ganamos, van a poder inmigrar. El problema es que Colombia está cerrado, consulado físicamente cerrado por COVID. Are non-plaintiffs benefited with the lawsuit which they aren't involved in? On DV 2020, yes. DV 2020 is a class action for people who don't have the visa in their passport. It's not a class action for those who don't have a visa. We're trying to get that recertified, and I believe we're going to get it redone with Judge Seaborg and not necessarily with Judge Mehta. All right, Mr. Cook. Yesterday was a circus, yeah. I know, Martina. I mean, I know. So, buck up, not F-word, buck up. We got you. We're going to hold you up here. We are not affected. You guys look, immigrants don't cost jobs to Americans, estadounidenses. Every immigrant creates more jobs than they take. It's an economic fact, which is why the United States, which is a nation of immigrants, is one of the most powerful nations in the world because people bring talent. Lazy people don't walk across the desert. You know, entrepreneurs come here because they see success. The only people who don't believe that are racists, nativists, xenophobes, and eugenicists, or the Trump administration, in other words. Okay. All right, let's see. Let's see what we got here. You have to do some things to your plaintiffs in an enunciado case. Maybe John wasn't listening earlier, but we'll get to that. No next hearing. Proximate chance of getting visas for Makita, I don't know. I'm not going to, I don't live in Las Vegas, so I don't give Las Vegas odds. All I can tell you is I think we have a strong argument. Noble, thank you. Will plaintiffs get, for example, there's only about, I think there's like 170 DV 2021 plaintiffs and like 30 DV 2020 plaintiffs. Will they get handled first? Probably. But it's not so many that it's going to throw anybody out of whack. But I can't add plaintiffs now that I'm at the class action stage. All right, let's see what we got here. Are you sure you're going to win? I believe I'm going to win. Okay, I believe. That's a difference because there's wiggle room because you can lose anything in America. But we have the strongest argument. I mean, the judge gets we good. We've won this issue every time, so I feel good about it. Okay, thank you. Yeah, lawyers. There's that Shakespeare play where I forget which one it is, but it says the first thing we do, let's kill all the lawyers. That wasn't because they hated lawyers. You kill the lawyers when you don't want to operate within the law. That's when you get rid of lawyers, which is why Trump hated lawyers so much, unless they're defending him and he doesn't even pay them at that point. All right, so thank you, Andrea. Immigration reporters, again, reporters, not lawyers. Are non-plaintiffs also benefited? Yes, they are, because the DV 2020 visas is a class action request in enunciado. All right, let's see. Futuro incierto, bueno, todo es incierto. Mañana la luna puede caer en el mar. Pero creo que tenemos un excelente caso. So tenemos 6 meses esperando. Digamos, nada que puedo hacer. María, ¿de qué está esperando? What are you waiting for? ¿De qué espera? No sé de qué espera. No puedo contestar lo que espera si no sé lo que es. All right, let's see. Enunciado does not include J1s because enunciado is on immigrant visas. All right. The NAM case. The NAM case, I think, was on 10052. So you need to talk to the NAM lawyer on that case. All right. Let's see. Adama, not family gets by one cancel. All right. Well, we already answered that. Macedonia. Be careful for the Macedonians, man. They're going to come for you. If you want to talk to the reporter, DM me on Twitter. You guys all know how to DM me on Twitter because you all DM me on Twitter. Remember, here's my Twitter handle. Make sure you give me a like. Make sure you like our Facebook too. Like the firm. Give us the thumbs up. But go on, follow me on Twitter, and DM me. All right, DM me, and we will get in touch with the reporter. Remember the consequence when you do that? Well, there's going to be a consequence. I mean, there's no financial consequence. The consequence is he's going to make them do their job hard, whether they want to or not. So I guess that's the consequence. All right, let's see here. GP family physician back in my country, you're going to be exempted. You know, you can ask for an NIE, but they're not granting them. They're just not granting them. They're just not. But you can ask for it. They're just not granting it. You don't need a counseling session. Yes, Simon. Everybody, the good news for me, that's why I'm happy all the time, because I get therapy every day. Every day I get home, I get therapy. It's awesome. It's why I'm so happy. Sorry, I just tuned in. Okay, George, I'm going to ask you to go back to the principio, to the beginning. Lautenberg Amendment immigration system. Wow, that's a question that I haven't heard in 20 years. The Lautenberg Amendment allows in as refugees evangelical Christians and Jews from countries in which they're suffering persecution. So if you're a Christian in Iran, you can apply for refugee status under the Lautenberg Amendment. And for that, you'd go through the refugee process. Okay. My family's a winner to be 29. We refused because Muslim ban. All right. Well, one thing, they're actually looking at that issue. So, again, if you want to DM me, set up a consult, you're welcome to do that. Again, you set up a consult by just calling us up. If you want to do a Zoom, it's paid. If it's free by phone for 15 minutes, happy to do that. Okay. Let's see. Why even judgment doesn't know that they just have the power? Look, I'm not judgmental. I'm not going to ascribe any feelings or knowledge to him. I know that he has the power. Whereas the song says, he has the power. He's got the power. He does. Hopefully, he'll believe me. Do you believe the Gomez appeal may really give? That's a great question, Corey. Or is it Lance? Is it Lance Corey or Corey Lance? I don't know. I'm going to call you Corey. The Gomez appeal, which is an appeal of the denial of getting rid of 114, is under consideration, has been for a couple of weeks. It was shortly before we had a week before we had oral argument in Anunciados. It's been about 3 weeks. But appeals are different than regular cases. They can take longer, although it's expedited. So is it possible? Yes, absolutely. Do I believe it's going to happen? No. But it could. I could be wrong. I would love to be wrong. I don't mind being wrong. Should we separately get a list of possible plaintiffs in case we don't get class status? Again, if you're interested in being a plaintiff in Enunciado, you can email Greg. Let's see, where's Greg's email? I got it right here. You can email Greg and say, add me to the Enunciado plaintiff list. If we end up having to add people, you just email Greg. He is keeping a list. All right. Does your immigration office accept fighting for people who rejected for visa vision? Yes, Arash, we in fact are. In fact, I'm having a conference call today with a group of people from Iran who were denied visas because of the Muslim ban and couldn't come in. Actually got visas and then couldn't come in the country. Should take a risk. John, I will never tell anybody to do something that's not certain. So the answer is I want to ask your question. I want to answer your question. All right, I'm not going to tell you to do something. I know there's other lawyers said, book a ticket on January 1. Not for me. Okay, I give solid advice. Oh, hold on, everybody. My screen just blacked out. Oh, ow. Oh, I'm back, everybody. It's okay. Nothing bad happened. Just bumped my head there. I kicked the plug out from my screen. Sorry about that. What about those who got rejected? It's going to be applied to them. If you're referring to the ending of the Muslim ban, that proclamation, that actually is in the proclamation. They find out how to get those visas reissued. Can we arrive in the United States after court date of Georgia? Yeah, I mean, you can. I mean, literally, if the judge ends the ban, book a ticket. The government may appeal, but he's not going to stay this. Book a ticket and book yourself over here and get in the United States. Okay. KCC trabajando, espera que... Oh, no están trabajando en la misión. No están trabajando. Lo siento. Es por los que son ganadores de DB 2021. No están haciendo. You want you to go back to the beginning and look at my pronouncements on when. Thank you for your help. Do you know if winning will help? Yes, F2Bs are included in our class. So F2Bs would be help. F1s, F2A, F2B, F3, F4. But everybody's in the plans. Also EB1, EB2, and EB3. Yes, NEMA covers all of them because we didn't want to leave anybody out. Why should some people benefit and others not? I mean, we need to get back to where normal is normal. That's where we need to be. Normal is normal. All right. Let's see. Judge Mehta is not dealing with that issue, so don't worry about it. That's not him. Okay. DV21, I'm set if we win. Well, you have where your number is. If you're a DV 2021, what's your number? Look at the current number. Make sure you get your stuff to KCC, and then you got to wait till your number gets picked. All right. And go back to the beginning. DED. Alfred, this is a great question. ¿Qué pasa con DED por venezolanos? Trump lo dio hace 2 semanas. ¿Dónde está? Es que UCES tiene que publicar una regla para iniciar las aceptaciones. Yo sé que hay abogados chupando su dinero ahorita para aplicar. No hay nada para aplicar. No pueden recibirlo. Van a rechazarlos hasta que publiquen. ¿Y dónde está UCES? ¿Está ocultándose bajo mi escritorio? ¿Dónde está? Es que no hay jefe. No hay jefe. Entonces hay que tener paciencia con esto también. ¿Tú crees que el juez trae respuesta antes de marzo? Oh, sí. Kelly, 100%. 100% tenemos respuesta antes de marzo. Any real consequences? No, there's weird answer. Is it possible for visa holders? Oops, I jumped way ahead. I had to go back here. You guys ask a lot of questions. Where are we? Okay. Where are we here? 237. It's gone. If judge decides interview should continue according to the case of the case of EU, go. Oh, Chris, I'm sorry, I can't answer that question. I don't know where E was. I mean, remember, Mehta was DV 2020, and everybody was current. It was a free-for-all. That's why it was a free-for-all. Who could work the hardest, who could yell the loudest, who could get there first. It was a free-for-all. Okay? That won't be the case for DV 2021. Tengo hermano en México que quiere venir a este país a trabajar. Él nunca ha venido, podría aplicar por una visa de trabajo. La cosa, Marta, es que no hay visas de trabajo. No existen. Okay? Hay visas por donde hay sponsor para traerlo, pero eso es duro y depende en la persona. Ese es el tipo de caso que debe llamar por una cita con nosotros, la cita gratis, que podemos charlar por el teléfono y darle el consejo de lo que debe hacer. Can we prove that we weren't in Schengen areas the last 2 weeks? Living in Nigeria, we have been in Bulgaria. Well, yeah, I assume you have hotel receipts or taxi receipts. You got something to get on an airplane. Just make sure you don't travel here through the Schengen area. So you can't go from Bulgaria to Amsterdam here. You got to go from Bulgaria to Ankara to come here. All right, let's see. Non-immigrant visas, J1. J1s are not part of our lawsuit. That is the NAM lawsuit. So you got to talk to those lawyers. Moldova, thank you for support. Everyone's hope it could be possible. Yeah, I mean, you can. That's what this whole thing's about. The whole thing's about this. Judge Mehta's reissuance order, that's a month and a half away. That's out there. That's why with Annunciado is more important. That's more important with Annunciado. You're surprised with the legal system. Martín, lo he hecho por 30 años. Y yo tengo sorpresa con el sistema legal. I've been doing this for 30 years, and I'm surprised at our legal system. All right. For Abogado, remember this, but I've been telling you all along. We're asking for all 55,000 visas for DV 2021. So it doesn't matter that your number's high. As Britt Simon has said repeatedly, they generally select the right number of people to get the visas. They don't overshoot very often. So yeah, will there be some people who would not get a visa anyway? Yeah, of course. But most people will have a chance. Now, keep in mind, like 50% of people are denied anyway. So just because you have a number doesn't mean you're going to get the visa. Let's see. ¿Qué hay para los que tenemos hijos ciudadanos mayores de edad y queremos arreglar los papeles? Oh, Pablo, es una excelente pregunta. Si entró al país con visa, su hijo puede arreglarse aquí. Si está fuera del país, su hijo puede arreglarse sin problema. Si está aquí indocumentado, sin entrada legal, sin esposa o padres que son residentes ciudadanos, no se puede arreglar. Okay? Pero esa es una razón por la cita individual. Esperando la cita en Juárez. Ya, Silvia. Oye, híjole. Mira, una de las cosas que descubrimos en nuestro caso es que hay 80,000 personas en su situación esperando citas. 80,000. Un año de personas en la línea hoy día. Entonces, tendrá que esperar hasta que te llegue. No hay modo, sino que hay emergencia, o que alguien tiene cáncer o alguna cosa horrible, podemos poner un expediter, hacerlo más rápido. Pero además de eso hay que esperar. Okay. All right, let's see. See if okay, renové mi DACA, me lo aprobaron para los 2 años, pero el Audi se extravió y he llamado a inmigración. El Audi. ¿Qué es el Audi? ¿Estás hablando de su permiso? Mira, si perdió su permiso, tiene que repetirlo y repagarlo. Si lo recibió. Si nunca lo recibió, tiene que hacer una pedida formal. Sonia, llámame y te podemos ayudar con eso. Albania! Some of the best people I know are from Albania. They have a diner right down the street. Awesome. Could Biden make a new EO? Yes, tomorrow he could do that. There are too many winners in Albania. Oh, there's not too many winners. But we'll see. A lot of people are going to lose, are not going to get picked. Not lose, but not going to be picked. Do people not, we don't have hope about K1s. Look, if you're not a plaintiff, you're not a plaintiff. It's not a class action. And the judge has not made the order. You know what may happen? And what we're going to ask him to do is we're going to file, but also make the order more broad. But it's entirely up to the judge. We can't force the judge to do anything. DED, ya hablé de eso, Humberto. Basta atrás como 10 minutos. Sending a DFDV, therefore showing immigrant intent grounds. No, María, no se preocupe. Haciendo la DB no es un base de ser negado por la F1 o la J1. No hay ningún problema con esto. Okay? I knew that the U.S. consulate in Rio are interviews. Rio, Aline, Rio. Anunciato. Aline, ¿nuestro anunciato? No creo que nuestro anunciato es de los Filipinos. Creo. Tal vez eres de Brasil. Yeah, it's right now, Alina, you may be the anunciado. Are you not? I mean, Alina, are you our anunciado? Everybody should give you a round of applause for stepping forward. Rio's a nightmare, Alina. They're not issuing anything. They really aren't. They're not issuing anything. Attorney Baxter, is it okay? I'm not Attorney Baxter. Oh, come on. What makes you think I'm Attorney Baxter? This is me. Attorney Baxter, he isn't this good looking. I mean, come on. Really. Come on. Let's be serious. Okay. Is it okay for attorneys to start announcing? No. I think this is so slimy. So slimy. There's no procedure. Now you want to call and say, hey, what's the procedure? There isn't one. They could do it they could do it right now. I mean, there's nothing stopping them from doing it. But there's nothing to file. We wouldn't even know what to charge. We don't know the process. Okay. Will Anunciado so presume? Yes, James, they start back up. All right. Let's see. Morocco, Wafa, how you doing? Assalam. Do you expect judge's ruling? Let's see. Okay. Family winner. I've been interviewed for a job offer. I've already job ban. Raj, you asked a question earlier, and I said call me. All right. In the notice letter to the Court of Appeals, Gomez submitted DV visas. It should begin to expire. No, you're right, Khalid, and we have told them that they were incorrect because we have people issued visas that expired in December already. Lots of Russians had theirs expire already. So, yeah. Egyptian embassy continued to be closed. Yeah, Egypt's a freaking nightmare. Okay. Again, they will be forced to open. Mina, you look a lot like Jesus in that picture. I'm just saying. What's going to happen? The visas that get caused by COVID. We've been spent the whole hour talking about that. Shout out to Britt Simon. If you're a DV person and you don't follow Britt Simon on Twitter or on YouTube, you're making a mistake. That guy will make sure that you get your fair shot at the DV. He's not a lawyer. He doesn't give legal advice, but he tells you how the process works. Do it. Let's see. Yeah, Ruwan, don't worry about the airlines. That issue that they screwed up on has been fixed. All right. Fiancé and Mulligan 2. Her visa moved to London. You know how long it takes before they should contact us? Jarrett, London, I know a couple of days ago they just contacted some of the folks. I can't imagine it'll be very long. I mean, a week or two. London's been really good too on Ks. They've been trying to get them done. Not like Frankfurt. Frankfurt's been awesome, but London's been pretty darn good. Can we request an NIE? Well, that's, yes, I think you can. In fact, I'm not sure you're actually barred by the ban, Nicholas. You should talk to your lawyer because if you had an E2 visa previously and you have a U.S. citizen child, I don't think you're barred. So you need to talk to your lawyer about that. If you don't have a lawyer, you should call me. Jed Meda, yeah, not Jed. I'm a law student. Oh, thank you, Sina. Where are you a law student at? I hope it's in a cool place. I teach at Emory Law School. Just had my class today. We have some students interested in this issue. All right, I know we're over the hour here. Looks like we've answered a lot of these questions. Te encanta reírnos con usted en medio de incertidumbre. Hey, hay que reír. I mean, si no se puede reír, va a llorar. Okay, DV 2020, 7 persons, immigrant visa. Well, Hamza, I'm convinced you're going to be able to come. All right, I am. Visa bulletin will be current this year. Oh, yeah, they'll be current by September. I think so. Let's see. Once we're coming to the end here. Thank you from Italy. There's Nadia. There are no stupid questions in immigration. But these judges, immigration judges, immigration judges are not real judges. Okay, they're actually employees of the Department of Justice. But Judge Seaborg, Judge Mehta, they're real judges. Okay, they're federal judges appointed by the president, confirmed by Congress. Immigration judges are just employees. They're just lawyers sitting on a bench. Pharmacist, enter in March. Well, hopefully you can come in as a doctor. That would be awesome, Marvat. All right, let's see. If people on Facebook are saying the lawsuits aren't necessary, they must be sniffing glue because nobody would be in the better position they are today without these lawsuits. I mean, that's just reality. Litigation, suing Trump, suing Biden is what makes this stuff happen. You have to hold their feet to the fire. Anybody who says otherwise, honestly, is a fool. And I can tell them that to their face if they want to. Let's see. We got Belarus. Belarus, George. I hope you were out marching. We got Indonesia. Awesome. This is the Annunciado. Bravo. Bravo. I hope your name is famous shortly. I hope you go to the consulate and say, I'm Annunciado. Issue my visa. That's what we want to have happen. Italy's pretty good. I'm surprised you gave me. Italy's not bad. They're doing K1s right now. They're scheduling appointments for some of our plaintiffs. So, Buenos Aires, I don't have any news on that. Look, DV 17 to 19, those are included in Biden's executive order. We're happy to talk about that offline, but it's very, very inside baseball stuff. Can a Fang Zhang plaintiff be added into the other plaintiffs? No. And Professor Cook, what about DV? Much love from Turkey. All right, from Israel, we have Israel, DV's leading readers. Yes, my turn, there's 9,095, and we hope to get the rest. All right, everybody, it's been a crazy day. I got more things to do, more calls to get on. We'll see you soon. Next time we have be some news. If anything comes out from the judge, we'll be online immediately. Pray, hope, fight, and we'll see you guys soon.